YouTube, my name's Nadine. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do a book haul. Now I haven't cheated. I am still doing my 100 book challenge, so I can't buy any more books until I've read 100 of the books that I already own. I haven't cheated, I promise. So 2 of these were from Christmas presents, and the rest were from my local little free library. So yeah, all counts. But I can't count any of these towards my challenge. It's only the books that I owned prior to that. So anyway, ramble over. These are the books that I got. So first of all, I will show you what I got for Christmas. So my husband bought me this Madly Deeply, the Alan Rickman Diaries. And you know, frankly, if you didn't grow up watching Hans Gruber fall from the Nakatomi Plaza, sorry if that's a spoiler, then yeah, did you really have a decent upbringing at all? So, and can you even imagine about Snape? Whatever you think of J.K. Rowling and her books, he was fantastic as Snape and has done many other wonderful roles. And I've heard that this book is really interesting, and it's got a foreword by Emma Thompson. And yeah, it looks really interesting, and I'm pleased to have it. Looking forward to reading it. And the other book that I got for Christmas was given to me by my son, who, believe it or not, is going to be 12 in just over a week. I don't think I gave him permission to keep growing like this, but yet he still does it. And that was Yours Cruelly, Elvira by Cassandra Peterson. So this is Cassandra Peterson's autobiography. And I was so thrilled when I unwrapped this. And I said to my son, like, wow, how did you even know that I would want this? And he was like, Mum, she was on an episode of Scooby-Doo a fortnight ago and you talked about Elvira for about 20 minutes afterwards. So I figured you kind of like her. That and the fact that I've got like little Elvira bits and bobs dotted around the house. But yeah, I love Elvira. Again, it's something that I grew up with. It's one of my favourite films and something that I go back to time and time again, especially if I'm feeling down or anything like that. It's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is such a fun film, and if you haven't checked it out as well, there's another Elvira film, Elvira's Haunted Hills. Anyway, but yeah, I've read this already, unsurprisingly, and I'll talk about it in my wrap-up at the end of the month. Okay, so the free library ones, these have been sat on my shelf for so long, I can't actually remember what's here. Oh, this one was one that I picked up for my husband, but also because I'm kind of thinking about dipping into the Jack Reacher books also. I don't think he's got this one, and it's a Blue Moon. I'm not sure where that comes in the series, but yeah, so if I see those for him, I might pick those up, but again, only if it's like free library, because I do know that I tend to cheat if I think I can get away with it. And then I've got a couple of Stephen King's. I'm not sure if I've got this one already or not, and it's The Eyes of the Dragon. I did have a quick look on my shelves, but they're all kind of doubled up at the moment and a total mess. I don't think I've got this. And it's a fantasy one. I've never read this. So it says, oh, is it part of a series or not? No, I don't know. Anyway, everyone in the kingdom talked about the king in waiting, Roland's elder son, Peter, and one man thought and planned and brooded on something else, how to make sure that Roland's younger son, Thomas, should be crowned king instead. The king is dead, murdered by an unusual poison. While evidence is gathered and the land of Delane mourns, the king's magician, unscrupulous, greedy and powerful, plots. Soon the king's elder son, Peter, is imprisoned in the Needle. Whew. Breathe. The top of a high tower for his father's murder, and Thomas inherits the throne. Only Peter knows the truth of his innocence and the true evil that is Flag. Only Peter can save Delane from the horror Flag has in store. He has a plan, but it is rife with danger, and if he fails, he won't get a second chance. I remember actually seeing this mentioned on a Stephen King Facebook group that I'm on, and I think a lot of people use this as an introductory to Stephen King for their kids. So if anybody has read this, would this be suitable for my son? He is getting really into fantasy at the moment. And in fact, he told me over the Christmas break, because he's been working really hard on a story that he's writing, that he wants to be a fantasy writer. Would this be good for him at all? Let me know in the comments. Thank you. And the other one, which I do have, but it's battered, is The Regulators. But again, I haven't read it before. I think this was originally a Richard Bachman. So we shall see. So it says, Wentworth, Ohio, a small friendly town where the Carver children bicker over sweets in the Easy Shop, and writer Johnny Marinville is the only resident who minds his own business. And on Poplar Street, apart from the impending storm, it's just a normal summer's day, with frisbees flying, lawns being mown, barbecues prepared, and the paperboy making his rounds, oblivious of the chrome-red van idling up the hill that marks the start of the surreal nightmare. Soon the residents will be caught up in a game of wills as the regulators arrive in force to face a child whose powers of expression are just awakening, waiting for them. So that sounds like it could be good. I do need to continue with my Stephen King project. It kind of fell by the wayside and I'm not sure why. I'm currently reading Firestarter, but I started it like 5 or 6 weeks ago and I'm only probably about 50 pages in. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but maybe I need a little boost for that one. And then the last two I've got to show you are Anne Rice ones. So I have this, which is a double, and it's got Servant of the Bones and The Feast of All Saints. I can't remember what these are about. I know that I read them years ago. So Servant of the Bones. Asriel, Servant of the Bones, powerful, dark and luminous, is a ghost, a demon, an angel. He finds himself in present-day New York, a dazed witness to the murder of a young girl and inexplicably obsessed by the desire to avenge her. Asriel's astonishing journey takes us back to his mortal youth in the magnificence of ancient Babylon. There he is plucked from death by evil priests and sorceresses and transformed into a genie commanded to do their bidding. But Asriel challenges these forces of destruction and embarks on his journey through time. As his quest approaches its climactic horror, Asriel at last dares to use his supernatural powers in the hope of forestalling a world-threatening conspiracy, and finally redeeming what was denied him so long ago, his own eternal soul. So, and then The Feast of All Saints. It doesn't look like it follows the same characters, so that's just safe to read. New Orleans before the Civil War, raw, legendary, sensual. Amongst the waterfronts, the skets and the gilded ballrooms lived a unique people, descended from African slaves and from the French and Spanish who had enslaved them. They were the gens de couleur libre, the free people of colour. Fierce and proud, neither black nor white, but caught between the two, free and yet not free. Out of this race came Marcel, the mesmeric copper-skinned youth adored by all, yet dreaming of distant lands, and his sister Marie, who longed for love and marriage in a world ready to sell her to the highest bidder. Like all their people, they were caught perilously between the world of master and slave, privilege and oppression, passion and pain. And you know that doesn't sound at all familiar to me, so I'm not sure, but I have read that one. So that will be interesting. Anne Rice is another author that I'm trying to pick up her books when I see them in the free libraries, because I'd like to do a big reread. I read them all like in my teens, but unfortunately that was quite a while ago. And then finally I picked up Blood and Gold, The Vampire Marius. So this is part of the Vampire Chronicles and follows Marius. I remember really enjoying this when I read it before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that one again when the time comes. So yeah, I read all of the Vampire Chronicles, but never Interview. So that is one that I'm keeping an eye out for. I did try reading Interview with the Vampire a few times, but I didn't see the appeal, to be honest, although I love the film. And I want to watch the TV series, although it's getting mixed reviews. So yeah, If you've seen that, let me know. If it's even worth reading Interview, or can I just, or should, no, I'll read Interview, forget it. I will read Interview. Anyway, that's my ramble for today. I'm planning on doing another video on Wednesday, hopefully, talking about my reading goals for 2023. But yeah, I would love to hear if you got anything exciting for Christmas, or if you bought anything for yourself as a little treat as well. That would also be very nice to hear about. And if you've read any of these, do let me know. So I will speak to you again soon. Bye!